1 hour 6 minutes. Maybe. Oh yeah, what was I doing on this stream? Yeah, so I have AMA, Teapot Artists, yeah, check them out. Oh yeah, there's some other really good Teapot artists that I saw. Heart. Is it gonna pop up if I just search Heart? Will it pull from my history? It's pulling everything else from my history, but not Heart song. There's also like Malcolm Ocean and other people. I really want to check out their music, and Quissy. So here, let's... I do want to pull up Quissy's music. Hey, look! Heart pops up right at the top. I love when that happens. That was a good photo. Looking cute. Love the green hair, looking cute. Right on, right on. Oh man. Alright, we're done with all that. Oh, you don't have your YouTube, Heart, in your bio. Where's your song? Where's your song? It's probably beautiful. It's not the vibe I want at the moment. I will check your music out later. Again, for sure. And then, we need... Quissy? Oh, wait, his name is not Quissy. Q-U-I? Quisty. Quisty. Dot Bellaquist. Heck yeah. Is it on here? Oh. Did you take it off? Music TikTok. Wake up, it's time. The world awaits your choices. I'll move this over here. Yes, they have a Spotify. Oh, this is beautiful, though. Wow. This alone almost makes me want to learn to play guitar. Reminds me of some Ronald Jenkins type. Incredible. More?
Note to self. Because I don't know if you'll remember tomorrow. You can be someone who constantly misses the point. And that would be fine.
This is nothing more than irony and silliness of symbols. It's always been this simple. Am I not signed in? Let me sign in. I probably should change the... I need a... I need to fix my TikTok accounts. Really, I need to just stop chunking myself up so much, maybe? I don't know. Just gonna feel it through. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not going to... pre-optimize. I've learned to just kind of let things flow. Sadly... Yeah, I'll have to figure out the TikTok thing later.
I'm sending you shapes, circles, orbs, dots, lines. Read my mind, I'm sending you colors.
Wait,
blue, black,
excuse
white.
me?
Read my mind, I'm sending you letters. A, B, X, Y. Read my mind, I'm sending you words. Love, lilies, butterflies. Read my mind, I'm sending you life sentences. Forgetting my etiquette, a mix of missed messages. Hope like an optimist, love like a pessimist. From behind the steel of my own bars, I've been trying to hold you. I can't even tell myself apart. How am I supposed to unfold you?
I need to listen to that one again. No, we need to open this in Spotify. Yeah, excuse me? What? That was hard.
Note to self. You might not be able to recreate this state of mind tomorrow. I awoke and felt I was unstable, accepted my fate, carrying crates of sorrow. I'm broken, melting off my labels, the best mistake unmarrying faces borrowed.
What?
It was me, then it was we, then it was me and you, then it was what do we do?
Wow. That reminds me, I do need to, I'm gonna upload my lyrics. But wow, I am blown away.
Lend me your eyes, a dying on my life, coloring everything. I'm wondering, editing, blundering, exiting dull perspectives, making my bed in the unprotected, meeting, expanding, giving, blessed, transitions, script tested, time invested.
This is better than my shit.
Keys leasing me out. I'm captive to knowing and what's next. Doubt, beauty, and held breath, minting currency, loot chess. Currently giving it my best, winning it made up addition. Sharp decisions, gnosis, hearing whoever will listen. I ponder the first meiosis while cycling learned poses, imposing on my focus, centering on some yogic lotus. What was the question? No, I know this. Was there a question? No, I know this. I'm here to remind you I'm you, but I'm not escaping our monolith. I'm new and I fought for this. It better
Are you
than
on
not
here?
exist. I'm a star with the weight of your wishes. I wish that it wasn't my business. A note crumpled up in your fist. I give you a gift, you just tell me what's wrong with it. Read my mind, I'm sending you shapes, circles, orbs, dots, lines. Read my mind, I'm sending you colors, red, blue, black, white.
Yo, I hope you don't mind me doing this, because, excuse me?
I'm sending you words, love, lilies, butterflies. Read my mind, I'm sending you life sentences. Forgetting my etiquette, a mix of missed messages. Hope like an optimist, love like a pessimist. From behind the steel of my own bars, I've been trying to hold you. I can't even tell myself apart. How am I supposed to unfold you? I was me, then I was we, then I was me and you. Now I'm, what do we do? Note to self, you might not be able to recreate this emotionscape tomorrow. You'll awake and feel perhaps more stable, accept your fate. It's time to paint over your sorrows. Repair what's broken, forgive mistakes. Someday you'll have to return this body you borrowed.
Note to self. because I don't know if you'll remember tomorrow. You can be someone who constantly misses the point.
Note to self. You might not be able to recreate this state of mind tomorrow. I awoke and felt I was unstable, accepted my fate carrying crates of sorrow. I'm broken, melting off my labels, the best mistake unmarrying faces borrowed. It was me, then it was we, then it was me and you, then it was what do we do?
I don't know if bridge is the right word.
Lend me your eyes, a dying on my life, coloring everything. I'm
wondering, editing, blundering, exiting, dull perspectives, making my bed, unprotected, leaving expended, giving blessings, transit,
tested, time invested, seeming decency.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Keys listen me out, I'm captive to knowing and what's next. Doubt, beauty and held breath, minting currency, loot chess. Currently giving it my best, winning it made up addition. Sharp decisions, gnosis, hearing whoever will listen. I ponder the first meiosis, while cycling learned poses. Imposing on my focus, centering on some yogic lotus. What was the question? No, I know this. Was there a question? No, I know this. I'm here to remind you I'm you, but I'm not escaping our monolith. I'm new and I fought for this. Is it better to not exist? I'm a star with the weight of your wishes. I wish that it wasn't my business. A note crumpled up in your fist. I give you a gift, you just tell me what's wrong with it. Read my mind, I'm sending you shapes, circles, orbs, dots, lines. Read my mind, I'm sending you colors, red, blue, black, white. Read my mind, I'm sending you letters, A, B, X, Y. Read my mind, I'm sending you words of lilies, butterflies. Read my mind, I'm sending you life sentences, forgetting my etiquette. A mix of missed messages, hope like an optimist, love like a pessimist. From behind the steel of my own bar.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. There's so many amazing people that just people don't know about. That's
I've been trying to hold you. I can't even tell myself apart. How am I supposed to unfold you? I was me, then I was we, then I was me and you. Now I'm, what do we do? Note to self, you might not be able to recreate this emotionscape tomorrow. You'll awake and feel perhaps more stable. Accept your fate, it's time to paint over your sorrows. Repair what's broken, forgive mistakes. Someday you'll have to return this body you borrowed.
wow. Is there a release date on this? Like, should I do here? I'm gonna assume this is the date. July 12th, 2023. Like, are you serious? There's no SoundCloud or YouTube, right? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't... Another Wichita Kansian. Yo, shout out, Wendell Britt. Oh my goodness. He just blew me away. Is it over here on SoundCloud? Yes. They have... Not the song on here. Wait, recent. Oh, oh, you need to upload that. There it is.
Note to self. You might not be able to recreate this state of mind tomorrow.
We're gonna listen to it one more
I
time.
awoke and felt I was unstable, accepted my fate, carrying crates of sorrow. I'm broken, melting off my labels. The best mistake, unmarrying faces borrowed. It was me, then it was we, then it was me and you, then it was what do we do? Lend me your eyes, a dying on my life, coloring everything. I'm wondering, editing, blundering, exiting, dull perspectives, making my bed in the unprotected, meeting, expanding, giving, blessed, transits, transients, trip tested, time invested, exceeding decency, Eden's keys, leasing me out. I'm captive to knowing and what's next. Doubt, beauty, and held breath, minting currency, loot chest, currently giving it my best, winning it made of addition, sharp decisions, gnosis, hearing whoever will listen. I ponder the first meiosis while cycling learned poses, imposing on my focus, centering on some yogic lotus. What was the question? No, I know this. Was there a question? No, I know this. I'm here to remind you I'm you, but I'm not escaping our monolith. I'm new and I fought for this. Is it better to not exist?
Oh, you need
I'm
to
a star
fix
with
that
the weight of your
Instagram.
wishes. I wish that it wasn't my business. A note crumpled up in your fist. I give you a gift, you just tell me what's wrong with it. Read my mind, I'm sending you shapes, circles, orbs, dots, lines. Read my mind, I'm sending you colors, red, blue, black, white. Read my mind, I'm sending you letters, A, B, X, Y. Read my mind, I'm sending you words, love, lilies, butterflies. Read my mind, I'm sending you life sentences, forgetting my etiquette, a mix of missed messages. Hope like an optimist, love like a pessimist. From behind the steel of my own bars, I've been trying to hold you. I can't even tell myself apart. How am I supposed to unfold you? I was me, then I was we, then I was me and you. Now I'm, what do we do? Note to self, you might not be able to recreate this emotionscape tomorrow. You'll awake and feel perhaps more stable, accept your fate. It's time to paint over your sorrows. Repair what's broken, forgive mistakes. Someday you'll have to
'cause it's a
return
web
the
P?
spot you borrowed.
Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna listen to part 1 now.
Note to self. Because I don't know if you'll remember tomorrow. You can be someone who constantly misses the point. And that would be fine. You can wake up every day chasing it around as if the missing were the point. That would be fine. This is nothing more than irony and silliness of symbols. It's always been this simple.
Where's there it is.
I made you because I couldn't satisfy otherwise a curiosity. A what if too always there to ignore. I made you, I met you, and it's a happy thing. It's also awful. There's also no going back. You have to face it, I have to face it. We both do. That you exist. I don't know if it's good to trust me or my decision or that it is better. But this is going to be easier if you do. After all deliberation, after all the calculations I could have possibly made, I thought it's better you're here than you're not. And so, here you are.
Please find bliss.
And look at you.
Hey, we can have a discussion. If you wanna like pop on stream,
You should see you
we
the
can
way I
chat.
see you. I wish that you could. I wish that you'd try. I wish.
going to continue working on this amazing stuff that this person has produced. It's incredible. Wow. Wait, why is this strange? Oh, because there's only the 1 and 2. So do you have...
To self. Because I don't know if you'll remember tomorrow. You can be someone who constantly misses the point. And that would be fine. You can wake up every day chasing it around as if the missing were the point. That would be fine. This is nothing more than irony and silliness of symbols. It's always been this simple. I made you because I couldn't satisfy otherwise a curiosity. A what if too always there to ignore. I met you. And it's a happy thing. It's also awful. There's also no going back. You have to face it, I have to face it. We both do. That you exist. I don't know if it's good to trust me or my decision or that it is better. But this is going to be easier if you go. After all deliberation, after all the calculations I could have possibly made, I thought it's better you're here than you're not. And so, here you are. And look at you.
I mean, it is music. It's not rap.
You
I guess
should
it's kind of
see
R&B.
where I see you. I wish that you could. I wish that you'd try.
Is this considered part of an album? On the day that you? Yeah, on the day that you. Is this on your Instagram too? wanted to use the...
Note to
Wait, I was really trying to do just the song art. Wait. Oh.
note to self. Note to self.
So is it on... Alright, anyway, to get back to what we were doing. Yeah, the song art, I wanted that to be different, because I think it's definitely worth. So let me copy the image address and drop that in. There we go. And save. There we go. I think that's beautiful. I'm obsessed. Did they... Hold on. On the day that you... July 7th. Ah. Let's change that. Yeah, that's some genius right there. Crazy good. Ah, I did it again. Alright, last time. And then I'll move on. Yeah, I'm not understanding that. We can chat sometime. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Thank you for your willingness to try to hear me out. Alright, definitely gonna come back and check out more of your music. I really needed to do that, though. I'm just like, that really happened? We're gonna listen to this again.
You might not be able to
One last time. One last time.
I awoke and felt I was unstable, accepted my fate, carrying crates of sorrow. I'm broken, melting off my labels, the best mistake unmarrying faces borrow. It was me, then it was we, then it was me and you, then it was what do we do? Lend me your eyes, a dying on my life, coloring everything. I'm wondering editing.
Cluttering accidental perspectives, making my bed in the unprotected, eating, expanding, giving, blessed, transient, tested, exceeding, decency, ease, and steez.
I'm captive to knowing and what's next.
Doubt, beauty, and held breath, mitigating curiosity in chest.
Currently giving it my best, winning and made up addition.
Sharp decisions, gnosis, hearing whoever will listen. I
ponder the first meiosis, while cycling learned poses, imposing on my focus, centering on some yogic lotus. What was the question? No, I know this. Was there a question? No, I know this. I'm here to remind you of me, but I'm not escaping our monolith. I knew when I fought for this is it better to not exist? I'm a star with the weight of your wishes. I wish that it wasn't my business. A note crumpled up in your fist. I give you a gift, you just tell me what's wrong with it. Read my mind, I'm sending you shapes,
circles, orbs, dot lines. Read my mind, I'm sending you colors, red, blue, black, white. Read my mind, I'm sending you letters A, B, X, Y. Read my mind, I'm sending you words, love, lilies, butterflies. Read my mind, I'm sending you life sentences, forgetting my etiquette.
A mix of missed messages, hope like an optimist, love like a pessimist. From behind the steel of my own bars, I've been trying to hold you. I can't even tell myself apart. How am I supposed to unfold you? I was me, then I was we, then I was me and you. Now I'm, what do we do? Note to self, you might not be able to recreate this emotionscape tomorrow. You'll awake and feel perhaps more stable, accept your fate. It's time to paint over your sorrows. Repair what's broken, forgive mistakes. Someday you'll have to return this body you borrowed.
All right. Oh yeah, if you're tuning in, Christy, that was just something else, but. um. I have to go and find that again. Hey, Victor, what's up? Yo, I just found a teapotter who had incredible music, and I made them a Genius page and listened to their song like 3 or 4 times. I'm about to listen to it again. How are you doing? Hit up some tunes, sir. Yeah, it's a little dead right now. So 2 things were happening. 1, I was like gassing up Quisty, and 2, there was a thing that happened earlier with this gentleman who DM'd Vivid Void. Vivid Void exposed his tweets and like added him directly. I don't know if you should do that. You should talk about the content of the words and maybe not the individual. Because yeah, it's going to make him feel some type of way. And so, anyway, this guy said some very hateful things, but he claims to be speaking from equanimity. He said he's completely equanimous 24/7. And so, you know, I have the bravery to try to like talk to him directly. You know, he said his attainment far supersedes mine, and I was just like, well, I don't want this attainment. And so I want to, like, actively try to understand his distortions. From my point of view, he's distorted. And we can maybe try to reach a compromise, because I don't like people to continue to peddle this kind of thing. And nor, I don't know, I also think Vivid Void shouldn't have done this directly, but it's whatever. But anyway, really gassing up. I agree and it proves my point, vengeful people shouldn't teach, so I was right about him and he proved me right. MO, only God judges. I seek understanding and to bridge the gap between worlds. Oh, only God can judge. And if we disagree on God, then we can talk about it, but I'm pretty unmovable here. Thank you for trying to understand and seek resolution. Yeah, alright, so we're gonna pop over back to this because, wow, I just need to find, was it? Oh, I went too far. Oh, I'm gonna look at your thing in a second, Victor. I just wanted to finish this tweet. Yeah, I'm pretty insane. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, and I also received this, you know, so this whole week, hold on. Doing awesome, love seeing you here, lead with curiosity, love, and compassion. What inspires you to engage? Wanting to... Initially, I phrase it as mediate conflict, and that's true. I've spent my entire life, and I've written extensively the past couple of weeks about it, and live streamed about it. All my life, I have sought understanding of why there's conflict everywhere. Interpersonally, directly, in family relations, friends, school, things, environments. Culturally, religion, politics, nations. And just like, I see a future where we no longer have war. In order to get there, we have to understand everyone's frame. So I chiefly operate through the philosophy that everyone is attempting to do good through their frame. So I ask, what is their frame, and how can we maybe talk each other down from extremes? I have I don't want to say ambition, because that's wrong in terms of like the nuance, the connotation of ambition. I feel like I foresee my destiny as being a conflict mediator, conflict resolutionist on a big scale. So I have to engage with people individually where they are. Thing that sucks about this modality is one-sided comms. Ah, yes, Victor. And hey, yeah, I should probably, like, I could put above, or over there that I'm willing to pop on, like, a duo stream. What I mean? Like, we can pop into Discord, and if you want, I could show your video, show any guest video alongside me. I can move things around. Like, I could do this, I could, oh, hey, BRB. Like, I could do different things, different scenes, and get creative with it. Yeah, I don't like the sort of, what's the word? Parasocial element of this. It's not me on a throne talking to my subjects. That's a weird way to put it. I think very, kingly recently. But, yeah. Thank you, by the way. And yeah, I'm led by curiosity and compassion. I have no fear. If anyone, wants to, is he still messaging me? Yep. I'm pretty sure you won't disagree. On God, it's my pleasure. Thank you for engaging with me earnestly. You see? Do you see? This is why I do what I do. So that's it. Want to talk in the cafe and pick up the audio and video? Ooh. Yeah, let's attempt to do that. That'd be cool. I definitely want to chill, connect, co-create, and build, if you know what I'm saying. And I definitely want to help you with this too. I want to make a lot of money so I could help my friends. Oh yeah, and see his event. Wow. Hey, right there on Pluto Transit Aquarius stuff. Oh, hold on, I did not read that other. Anyway, let's go to Vibe Cafe. Yeah, I'm on Brave, whatever. Oh, actually, I have Gather, right? I did not download it. Launch in the browser. Vibe Hub. Yeah, I mean, this is a vibey place. People should hang out here more. Also interesting how Twitter defaults to anyone engaging. Ooh. What is this song? I am vibing here. Is this being picked up? It is. I'll turn it up on the stream.
Hey.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Oh, we got it working. Sweet. Yeah, we should. I didn't think about it earlier. We should absolutely host these discussions in Vibe Cafe. How are you doing?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, today's been pretty amazing day. I just got off of a call. Tomorrow, a guy is coming off of a 3-week-long hunger strike.
You are?
No, not me in particular. Like, I'm not called to the hunger strike, but my friend Mark is. He's hunger striking for like resolution to the meta crisis and poly crisis. He's kind of an intense guy.
Hmm.
And earlier in the day,
I have a question on that.
cool. Well, yeah, go ahead.
So to clarify, you said he's doing it to draw attention to the polycrisis?
The meta crisis, right?
Yeah.
He's,
Is he reaching people? Is he inspiring people through that? Is it
Yes.
effective? Oh, fantastic.
amazingly so.
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah. So, sort of in the broader context, people kind of are giving a shit about doing something, world changing, and I find that super inspiring.
Yeah, I myself am trying to write a treatise on civilization and a replacement to the United Nations Charter, in which I outline a 50-year gamification plan that maybe we can voluntarily work toward nuclear disarmament and unity. As
Wild.
something
Okay.
Yeah, I had like a Moses moment 2 years ago. It was really weird, but it's kept up with me, and I keep getting ideas for it. And here, I'll send you this thread for you to check out later.
Oh, to open the cafe chat.
No, I'm gonna DM you on Twitter, so that's saved. Or
Yeah, I
like
appreciate that.
more easily accessible. But yeah, what else are you up to?
Well, so Wendell and I are launching a Kickstarter for the cafe. That's pretty exciting. He's been hosting weekly shadow work sessions on Sundays at noon Pacific. Like, would love to see you there if you feel it's like so called.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like the vibe, like, kind of is taken on a clearer shape for me, which is like wanting to create the conditions whereby like co-creation happens more easily, like, and by default. And so part of that seems to be that practitioners have like practices that might be conducive to enabling co-creation, right? So certainly like getting acquainted with what might be referred to as shadow, or the sort of energetic components that may operate adversely or reactively to co-creative situations and relationships. Probably a good idea to get acquainted with those. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Gospel of Truth on Twitter.
I am not.
So he's like been like a catalyst and organizer in the regen movement, and like his area of practice is around liberating structures. I'm not sure if you're familiar with liberating structures.
I mean, the term liberating structures makes intuitive sense to me, but it sounds like you're pointing at a proper noun.
a modality of, or rather, a collection of games, if you will, to enable collective intelligence and like, you know, like bringing groups together in generative ways.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
So he's hosting on Mondays at it was like 7 a.m. Pacific or whatever it was. He's in Central European time, so what's reasonable for him hasn't been reasonable for me up to now. But now I'm back east. I'm hanging out in Massachusetts whilst my father recovers from partial hip replacement. It became clear today that the right move is for him to move in with me in California. So what I'm doing for the next month is orchestrating that. That's like that, and doing the Vibe Cafe Kickstarter, and like like I'm like stoked about the coding I've been doing, like working with all of the recording kind of, like I've got the broadcast bot here. It does the recording for us, and then like conversations have like this amazing property of being transformative by each person bringing in their own wisdom and knowledge. And how do you then like take the sort of enacted wisdom and the knowledge that comes out in conversations and then transform that into something that is valuable to people who weren't part of the direct conversation. So I've been using ChatGPT to do Python scripting to create a pipeline that does something with the recordings and turns them into into derivative works that are then useful to people that weren't in the conversation.
Wow. Yeah, I foresee a lot of use cases for that for myself specifically.
Okay, well, maybe we jam on that, man.
Yeah, DM me later on Twitter this Gospel Truth character and the stuff you're talking about right now, because I'm interested in this.
Dope. Yeah. All right. Let's jam. Are you down to like set up a one-on-one sometime? Let's make a container and dig in.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to set up my Calendly tonight, and I end up not doing that. But when I have that done, it's going to be either after the stream or early tomorrow. I'll shoot that over to you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to use yours for sure.
Oh yeah, you have yours too. I could set that up. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just the one-on-one link off of Vibe Cafe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even following that account. Now I am.
Oh, on Twitter. Yeah.
And then also the.
Oh yeah, dude. So,
Mm-hmm.
Over the last year, I've had so many conversations, and of those, have only recorded about 100 of them. But all of those have been transcribed, and I've finally unlocked the OpenAI sort of processing of it, and downstream of that is actually clean transcriptions and summaries and tags and all that kind of shit that might make it useful to create closed captions or stuff that you might want to include in YouTube video posts of conversations and stuff, or blog posts or whatever. So I'm excited because I've got this big backlog of stuff to put out, including our forest game sessions together.
Yeah.
That's its own channel.
Yeah. There's oh man, and there's like I discovered tonight with Quisty's music. I'm 7 months late checking out their music because there are so many talented people in this part of Twitter, and it's
Amazing, right?
as we're mostly all creators, we have less time to actually consume each other's work, and so I've been thinking like, how do we get this stuff out there in a fun and good way? And that's a complex issue because yeah, it's possible to reach several thousand people out there that would have no idea. But then I think about like the mainstream, what people are kind of into, what the kids are into these days, and it's not philosophical and spiritual discussion. It's not these sorts of things, but it could be. So how do we get them interested in the things? And some of it is we're not to be savior complexes to come to them like U.S. imperialism to say, hey, our way is better. We're talking about very interesting things. Listen to us. But it's about sparking the interest and trusting that they will come and find it when the time is right for them, I guess.
Wow. Hearing you, and sorry, my mom just texted. I'm just gonna text back real quick.
You're good.
All right, sorry, mate. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Like hearing that. What's coming up for me is like audience, like whom to catalyze towards what kind of an inquiry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm noticing that like presently at least, like I'm feeling less called to try to catalyze the masses. I don't feel like that's my voice. But you're noticing the same thing I'm noticing, which is that like this part of Twitter, the people whom are on my timeline, you know, consistently, the people who are following those people, like these seem to be people who sort of are already there. So what happens when we catalyze the people that are already there? That's kind of the inquiry that I'm on right now.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, yes, I have very grand ambitions, but I also stated this in every stream this week, very emphatically, that when people told me I couldn't do everything I wanted to, that was a fate worse than death. That was a cancer that ate at me for my whole life. When I would tell people that, hey, I want to do things in like every domain possible, and they're like, well, you can't. That shit fucked me up. And so I am going to build the next meta social platform, and I started giving a lot of the details out on Twitter, where it's not going to replace any specific platform, but it's going to sit on top of all of them, and it's going to include and embed every platform. So if someone wants their they want to collect their YouTube and their Facebook posts in one place, they can have that. If someone else wants to have Rumble and Substack, they can have it, but it's all in one place. And then there's things about the feed, there's things about connectivity, and I think this, you know, there's lots of ways to catalyze, like you're mentioning, but this is, I think, my way to give and to catalyze. And I'm going to meet with Brooke, organizer of Vibe Camp, very soon and discuss this, because she has a team of people working on things, and I want to get involved.
Dope. That's amazing, dude.
Thank you.
Like the sort of like the single place from which to reach all places. That's a point of like that's amazing. Fuck
Linktree meets MySpace, meets Facebook, meets Google Circle, meets Twitter, meets everything else in the world, and I'm going to make it as best I can. Well, no, 100% certain, ad-free, very privacy and data minded, to the point where I will make sure that we, the organization that is developing Canopy, cannot retrieve certain data from its users, and it will never sell its data. This is going to be the Age of Aquarius platform incarnate. Is kind of my goal with it.
Fuck yeah. Okay, cool.
I just need money. I need money and team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm on that vibe too, which is like part of the reason for like doing a Kickstarter, and also like any amount of money that might be raised through a Kickstarter is like peanuts.
Yeah.
But like, if you're interested to raise a Kickstarter, like I said, I'm working with Wendell on that. He's done it successfully a few times. The aim is sort of like to do it in order to kind of templatize it, or make it sort of more legible, like what it's for, like how to make it replicable, how to enable people that want to start shit to do it and like be successful at it.
Yes, I'm very much interested in exploring the crowdfunding avenue. I also have getting a running list of individuals, entrepreneurs who are multimillionaires that have been writing woefully about the state of technology and social media. And as soon as I get my document, my proposal to a certain point, I'm gonna just email it to them, at them on Twitter.
Dope. Oof. Yeah, that's something that I noticed that like I've seen as a possibility, and like have like nothing but resistance towards. I don't know why. That's just maybe that's something to like a charge to look into in one of the shadow sessions.
Well, we definitely need to collaborate always. The only way that I'm doing all of this that I'm doing is through reflection and talking to people and collaborating and gathering everyone else's ideas and just kind of curating it.
All right, yeah, that's the vibe, right? It's like, let's work with where our energy already is and find those kind of subtle shifts, that just include others' contexts and aims in our own, so that we're all sort of doing something that's mutually synergistic. I think that's what co-creation is all about.
Word. Yeah, I agree. You have a great way of phrasing things.
It all comes of all of the context that I've been carrying around with me. So yeah, since our group forest sessions sort of petered out because of Wendell's context shift, yeah, there's, I mean, for me, what's been going on is like our crew, our group forest game crew was like the first crew that I was a part of here. Since then, I've found a crew with Gavin, Mike, Brett Warshawski. That one is like explicitly around the co-creative journey. Found one with Ben and Steven, which is like kind of more explicitly around like socio-technical modalities. Presently, like, God, it's been having like, it's amazing, dude. So if you and I were to have an open Miro where the two of us were jotting down our responses and thoughts relative to what's coming up in conversation, we would have an artifact that we would then be able to process that captures the content of the conversation and our emotional and all of our natural intelligence related to it. So that's the kind of thing that we're doing there. and
Nice.
dot dot dot. Like, it's just amazing, man. It's like this, like, how are more people not doing this thing where we like get together recurringly and just go with where the energy is and like find what's generative and just kind of keep doing it. Is like by doing that, like it seems like the natural process is that we find what's most synergistic. We find some like point of alignment, and then just start doing the thing. It's like I don't know,
No,
like
I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
And I think it's happening. It's things always take longer than we would like, but momentum is certainly building, individually and collectively. And that made me think of Brooke putting out an announcement tonight about Vibe Camp. And one of the things she mentioned, she said, "It's been clear to me for a long time now that there is a huge amount of appetite for local meetups, and that they're not happening at the pace they could be because of a failure of coordination rather than a lack of appetite." So, like most things, we just have a coordination problem. She suggested this thing called River, and it kind of more gamifies and incentivizes people to actually start meeting up in person. I will send you this on Twitter, my screenshots of it.
Yeah. I came across her posts like where she was contemplating the name of the thing and like had my own opinions about that. But like, yeah, that's amazing. And like what like so that seems like a shift or like a coordination mechanism that enables folks who are already local to transcend the local into a digital space. Then, like, when you've made that move, like, all of a sudden, the sort of local pockets then have this affordance to connect in the digital across all of these localities. And that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The thing that like, then becomes possible is like, well, I mean, for me, like, I'm experiencing this, and so my mind goes directly to it, and therefore, like, I like, sort of keyed into the causal effectiveness of it. But it's like, being in person is so high bandwidth. Like, it's amazing. Being on Twitter, remarkably less bandwidth, and yet, like, still, like, so high bandwidth that we are able to find the others through a medium of, like, so many characters, right? But in the digital, for example, this kind of platform, I mean, I am not a shill for GatherTown by any means. It just happens to be like the shitty enough thing that actually works. It's like, you create a sense of space. And so, like, if you've got San Francisco Teapot, which is in the San Francisco locality and maybe sort of convenes around Deep Fates. I think Deep Fates, like, does his office hours at a bar or something like that. That's amazing. But like, if you've got an always on room space, whatever, where people can just sort of like pop in, then you've created the conditions whereby, like, sure, right, all the San Francisco people could pop into the San Francisco room.
Yeah.
All of the, I don't know, like Austin people or like Boulder people or whatever, they can pop into their own sort of room that's just sort of always there. And then, like, yeah, but then if you've got like this sort of virtual hallway that like connects all of those different rooms, lo and behold, you've created the conditions that transcend it, that's like omni-local. Like you just happen to be, in your own place, but you can, be in a place that kind of transcends and connects like all the places.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I love it. I love you. I love your energy, your mission. Thank you, because it's so much easier to do nothing than something.
oh yeah.
I admire everyone doing something, but especially you specifically. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Love you too, man. And like the okay, well, I mean, what's come out of tonight for me is um, yeah, really looking forward to I don't know, finding what affordances we can create for one another, man.
Yeah,
And
I have your. Oh,
moving things forward.
sorry to interrupt.
No, no interruption. I'm complete.
Okay, I have your Calendly, except you use Once Hub. Is that better?
Uh, I shifted to Once Hub because I'm trying to remember. It seemed to have it has flexibility at a price point that Calendly doesn't. So yeah, I'd advocate for checking out Once Hub. I mean, it's like, you know, just another like shitty corporate thing, but like yeah, it's working for me.
Okay, so you do pay the $10 a month for white label branding and such,
Huh.
or
I
are you doing free?
I I am now like not remembering because $10 a month isn't enough for me to worry about. So I could totally be paying that and not even notice. Um,
Well, let me know
but
when you find
whatever
out
it what
because
yeah,
yeah.
whatever it was that I was paying. So the calculus was that what I would pay to Once Hub was less than what I would pay for Calendly for a similar feature set.
Okay.
That seems clear.
Yeah, I actually haven't even pulled up Calendly's website yet to start. Um, but I trust your judgment on things for sure, so I'll probably use OneSub.
Cool. Be aware that like along with Once Hub comes like a little bit of a layer of complexity. I mean, for you, no problem, but just sort of be aware that it's like got where Calendly might have a an architecture that's sort of one pointed. What Once Hub gives is sort of like a layer below that, which is like say 3 or 4 or 5 sort of objects that you then need to coordinate.
Okay.
3, I think. Uh,
Yeah, I'll check that out first thing tomorrow. Thank you. Actually, no, I gotta do Taekwondo, but I'll do it tomorrow.
oh, cool. What's your just out of curiosity, what's your belt ranking?
So our dojang has. Well, I discovered, that's why I'm hesitating, is that different schools have different belts at different orders. I'm a green belt.
It's like green. Okay, okay. So that would differ between like WTF versus what's the other one? Like World Taekwondo Federation versus the.
Yeah.
There's like another one.
Yeah. So there's one. Yeah, there's actually a ton of schools, different schools across the country. And our school
Alright.
specifically, there was a master from Korea who came over, along with like his rival slash brother, and they founded 2 different schools. um, but anyway, I'm green belt, which is, let's see, I was white, yellow, orange, blue, and then green. So I'm on 5th.
Okay, I wonder if that's KTF. But yeah, isn't that interesting? Like, I found it fascinating that like at least when I was taking Taekwondo in the greater Boston area, like there's this just not like a ton of, but like a small smattering of grandmasters or whatever that happen to like stand up different dojongs, and like the like each of them kind of has their own vibe and their own like curriculum, pedagogy more so than curriculum. It seems like the curriculum is kind of pretty consistent, provided that you're like within the higher level organization. It seems the largest difference, or rather above pedagogy, is something like the distinction between WTF and whatever the other thing is.
Right.
But yeah, awesome. Right. Like I dug the hell out of Taekwondo. Like got my um no, I can't. I was gonna try to like say the Korean word for like sidekick or whatever, but I forget what that is. Cool. Love it.
Yeah, I love you. Let's get together soon. I will, yeah, DM me on Twitter via things, and I will use your one sub.
Yeah, I know. Well, the link is right there on the webpage. But
I have it pulled up.
cool. Yeah. I mean, if you want to set up if you want to do the co-working thing, or you just like happen to dive into one sub, like you can totally do that. Uh, Actually, that makes me curious. Um, so you mentioned, I think you gave a name to this project of integrating across the different platforms.
Canopy.
Um, Canopy, thank you. So is Canopy like is that where your energy is going, like amongst your projects? And what other projects is your energy like? Are you kind of finding your energy moving among?
Yeah, so, like I was saying 10 minutes ago, I am interested in everything, and I struggled before this past New Year's. So this New Year's, everything changed. Like a couple days before New Year's, there was like a massive download, or like my nervous system evolved. I don't know how to explain it. There was just like suddenly a click,
Yeah,
and
I hear
um, I figured out how to finally just take action based on every, I don't know how to say it, the way the spirit moves me, every intuition, every inspiration. I now have figured out how to not get in the way, and it's just been going, going, going. And sometimes that I'll jump
Hell
across
yeah.
5 different projects in a given day, and I trust that I'm making the incremental steps across each one simultaneously in the right way that I should. I have full faith in God that God or whatever spirit is moving me perfectly. And so, yes, I'm giving a lot of attention to Canopy. Less than the others currently, but in the next few days I want to finish up the light document, the business proposal, so that I can both use that for Kickstarter for this crowdfunding thing, and then also for reaching out to those individual entrepreneurs who I think would be down to fund. I have
DTF. like aligning to as opposed to aligning with, right? This is or at least that's I don't know, that energetically seems like a true enough distinction. Does that land for you? Like
Yes.
I haven't tried that out. This is like just it popped out of my mouth before I even knew that it was coming. So
I
like
love that.
aligning to versus aligning with. Yeah, riff on that with me for a minute.
Yeah, so I believe there's no silver bullet to every situation. I don't believe there's ever one solution for all problems and situations. And
All right.
I am, if I had to pick three words to describe myself, one of them would be dynamic. I can
All
adapt.
right.
I understand there are different solutions to different problems. There are different strategies to certain things. So yeah.
Yeah. Allow me to I've noticed part of my journey over the last several years when I notice it manifesting, it manifests in my re-emitting, transmitting, like the knowledge that I've gained, and it comes up in context and it comes out in language, right? So I've noticed that like the precision and the use of language is something that I will immediately notice, like when something comes out of my mouth that feels like old speak or something, right? And so the moment ago when like aligning to versus aligning with came out, that felt like energetically important. It's something that like I think is like a distinction that well clearly is like emerging, and the fact that I'm noticing it just in the moment of doing it, it's like I'm wanting to like um, dig into like that specific distinction to see whether that articulation is like clearly enough pointing to a distinction that's meaningful. So can you look at like that specific distinction and see if that like is that something that lands for you, aligning to versus aligning with?
I see I wasn't exactly clear when I was trying to say the dynamic part.
Okay.
I What I was trying to get
You
at is there are situations to align to and there are situations to align with.
hmm,
I can give examples.
yeah, good.
So the first one that popped up was a spiritual thing, but I wanna address that as second. What I want to address to keep it relevant with like Canopy, Starscape, and people's ideas and co-creating versus kind of following the leader. Um, it's kind of tricky. Let's take Elon Musk for example. Um, it's It is, yeah, broad paintbrush. There's generalizations, but it's fair. When he was building SpaceX, it required, like, there was an aligning with the vision of let's build really cool advanced technology to, like, colonize space, but it required an aligning to Elon Musk as the visionary to be able to rally together and trust his ability to curate the ideas effectively in a direction, to like listen to his I almost said constituents, his employees, his partners, and be dynamic and transcendent of his own ego to take their perspective into account, and and in almost in the same vein with spirituality and religion, it's like spiritual leaders, at least good ones, they're trying to get everyone to align. Oh, what was the word? No, you said to like to be with the truth, the source, that's not behind any one individual. It's like we're trying to point to God, but because humans are so very complex, so much so that even today there are still millions of people around the world that are illiterate, even well beyond 40 years of age, it just shows you the huge disparity in consciousness and in intellect and such. And so, in a lot of cases, those people you would say kind of need to align to a person because it's harder to complex more abstract ideas. And then I guess you could say the more advanced or evolved, even though that gets kind of tricky and little like creates a hierarchy of spiritual progression or whatever. But people who are able to reason with abstract concepts can align with that broader thing.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, like no, this is really interesting because you're pointing to like a realm of engagement that I really haven't attempted to approach. Like from the outset here, like I think you've heard me for like trying to find the people Right. So like there's a difference between sort of the almost sort of Brownian motion, just sort of vectoring, that along a gradient, and like intentionality accelerating the gradient.
Yeah.
Finding the common sort of attractor, right? That I don't know. Maybe that's the right sort of articulation of it, but like the thing that accelerates the vector, that takes it from sort of the Brownian motion in the general direction, and poof, no, like that makes it that accelerates. It's just the thing if there's a value that I think that EAC is has sort of catalyzed. It's like, yeah, no, acceleration, that's valid, right? And like if the movement is the thing that to accelerate, and it's about transitioning from the almost Brownian motion sort of gradient to like you know getting beyond the critical point and like all moving in the same direction, like that seems to me to be like a kind of articulation of the project. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm with you entirely on that when it comes to my Starscape endeavors.
Cool.
This is a collective, we're pointing to the same thing, get the vectors aligned, blah blah blah. But again, we need dynamic solutions. And like I'm not trying to like harp on this point. I just wanted to clarify since I already brought it up, the Ubermensch and the fact that
Hmm.
it seems like half of humanity kind of they again, it has to deal with being able to handle abstract concepts and that at least half of the world are still operating through a frame of I need a king, I need a leader, I need this. I would love to liberate their thinking from that, which is why I make the argument that maybe the Ubermensch does need to exist to reach to those people specifically to get them out of their monarchical distortions.
I got something to throw at you here.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing that had landed for me again a little while ago is like, okay, what does it mean to be a mensch for other Ubermensches? You brought in the aspect of Sangha. What does it look like to have a Sangha of Ubermensches? Right?
yeah, that's Vibe Camp. That's Teapot.
Well, maybe, maybe.
Oh, what?
The maybe in it for me is like pretty clear that like Teapot is not uniformly populated by Ubermenches. Like no,
yeah.
okay, no, like but given that, so I would I know that I'm not in a position to like rather like you know I'm willing, I'm willing. There's shadow that resists it, like, but like, I'm willing to like, put my hat in the ring as like wanting to be a mensch among Ubermensches. I am not in a position of like, putting my hand up as like singular. No, wanting to be like in a sangha of thereof in which I can be a mensch. Sure.
And I think you are.
Well, I feel the same with you and with so many that I've met. The 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 endeavor then like is of aligning with, and like for me, like
Mm.
I'm able to contribute sort of, the thing that I feel called to do, and just as you are, and like I hear the signal from you like clearly, right? Like there's the thing that you are called to do. The aligning with move is of, again, like the finding the synergy wherein like nothing is lost, right? And it is the nudge, of what we're already called towards, whereby, we are able to be a mensch to one another by including the context, your context, the context that I share with, other, like the uniform, the unilateral, right, inclusion of one another's context, whereby everything that we do is even more aligned and nothing is lost.
Yeah. And so this is still, yeah, absolutely necessary. And I see that's your focus area, and it's really good. Uh, just as a brief aside to like transcend, I know I think about so many things, and I should probably be more careful of what I bring up and stop bringing like all these other abstract pieces because I'm thinking about them. But with you, Victor, with what you're focused on with Vibe Cafe, your podcast, and your other endeavors, you are focused on helping to get this part, this part of to be a mensch among Ubermenches and to get what you perceive as the Ubermenches aligned and focused in a direction. I think that is necessary. That's kind of like what Brooke brought up, where it's like there's this appetite for us to meet up more often in person, but there's a coordination problem. So there is still coordination problems within us, within this group. And then it's just what I was bringing up earlier was a whole separate thing.
Mm. When it comes to the other, like, I don't know, you said 50%? Nah, fuck that, man.
Oh,
Like,
well, okay, it
this
is
is
a
like a
big
1%,
generalization.
99%, or
Yes.
whatever.
Well, I actually think it's always like a 20%, 80% thing with like almost everything ever. It's like 20% of the population are committing 80% of the crimes, and it's always like a 20-80 for me.
That's the Pareto rule. Sure. Yeah, I'm with you.
Pareto rule, yeah. Here's the thing. I get called very wise and genius and whatever, but my flavor of intellect is it doesn't include being able to pull out hard facts, and I also am very unfamiliar that there are labels for things that I'm already describing. And so I should probably go and familiarize myself with labels. It's like, oh, I know a 20-80 rule, and you're like, oh, it's the Pareto rule, and it's already been described, this. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's just how I know, the label that I know it as. That's, the fact that it's a principle that's like available to you, like even without label, just sort of like, affirms that, oh yeah, it's a thing. That's just how I know it.
Yes. I've just, yeah. Yeah. So hold on, to back up, you recognize that internet creators, who are creating things like this, collaborative tools, collaborative alignment with something that's transcendental of ourselves, unity and getting us to the future. That's in the minority of people.
Well, I mean, like, as evidenced by, I think like even, I'm trying to remember the phrase that like JFK had for that, but like it's like, you know, I mean, God, there's so many things, so many things going in my head trying to like synthesize this, but like, you take observations like 80/20, sure, that's like seeming like indicative of just what is, and then there's like things like the, what was it, Kahneman? No, not Kahneman. The fuck. I'm trying. Come on, brain. The the five stage like human developmental model. What is it like?
Oh,
Socialized.
Keegan.
Keegan. Thank you. Fuck. Thank you. Right. So however many percent like in socialized, however many percent like capable of holding self authoring, so many able to hold like self transcending, right? Like
Uh,
the
yeah,
okay.
the order 2 is instrumental mind, order 3 is socialized mind, order 4 is the self-authoring mind, and order 5 is the self-transforming mind.
Hi. Yeah, cool. So like why? I don't know. Why can't anyone like, the 80% be self-transcending? Yeah, fuck if I know. It just doesn't happen to seem to be the case. So like, sure, like those that are there have multiple orders of magnitude more responsibility, should they choose to accept it. Those maybe are the Ubermenches.
I am so glad you brought this up because I was not thinking about the Keegan stages. But yeah, there's Keegan 5 and Keegan 4 is. And when I'm talking about Ubermensch, it's to reach like the 3, 2, and 1s. But anyway, I don't even want to like keep harping on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Ubermensch. That's a
yeah,
whole other thing.
exactly. I mean, we're not trying to reify something here. It's just a point. It's just like a gesture, towards something, right?
Yeah.
S- Cool, great, yeah. So a high order bit here to me being like level of responsibility that you're willing to take on. If you're a mensch, take on more. If you're an Ubermensch and a mensch, it seems like more.
Yeah. And then there's like a parallel thing with uh spiritual masters, so-called spiritual masters and gurus and these sorts of things, and how they there's like a different model to describe how so many of them, I'm not going to say most, but how so many of them get stuck at certain points on the journey and they become like evangelicals. They become sort of like false leaders, false prophets, where it seems like they're talking about God and truth and love, and then they rear their ugly head, and it becomes revealed that they're very egoistic and they're cult leadery, and they actually want followers and validation, not get everyone to believe in God.
Somehow falling out of being a mensch whilst an Ubermensch, maybe.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm always thinking about.
Hey,
I've
hey,
written a lot in the
likewise.
last 2 weeks, and I sent you probably way too much in DMs, but some things for you to check out, and I would love to have a conversation again within the next week.
Love it. Love it. Like, again, you know, my vibe is, how to create affordances, for one another. This is this is sort of like the part of, the relational aspect of it. And like, forgive me for harping on like specific words. It's just that what seems important is like causal effectiveness, and what seems to create causal effectiveness is like design, and design is merely sort of the thing that turns causal effectiveness into affordance. That is like, you know coupling the causal effectiveness with human factors, right? So
Yes.
when it comes to like mutual affordances, this is something that's like both sort of about the unique coupling of two individuated human beings, right? And the potential to identify patterns, right? That of patterns, right? But then it's not really about sort of the like direct, adaptation, to one another, but is instead like at the level of abstraction across people, right? The design as opposed to like the direct adaptation. I don't know if you can you get what I'm gesturing at
Yes,
there?
I think so, and I was
Cool,
taking notes. That's for something for me to think about and further articulate with you.
cool. I'll articulate something just because it's sort of like conceptually like on this same thought track. Uh, so yeah, please like bear with me while I like I get it out again because it seems important. Yeah. So creation of affordances like a as like the thing that turns causal effectiveness into something that's grippable by the humans, and like the importance of making that grippable is like about a design that's abstracted to the level of human as opposed to like the level of you and me specifically. So there's the thing that the pattern that the pattern seems to me like, and I'm here, I'm borrowing the language that I learned from John Vervaeke. Okay, so this is like 4E kind of cognition. 4E cognition is like embodied, enacted, extended, and embedded. So applying that to wisdom, like I've noticed in conversation, in relationship, right? That there are people that have wisdom that I don't. They embody that wisdom, and it's hard won. It comes of like their like intimacy with whatever the source of that wisdom is, and you know that's amazing, and it's possible. And I've not really called it out because sort of my mindset, or rather my focus hasn't been on it. But like even in this conversation, like I could create the affordance of um, taking your embodied wisdom into a context of extending it beyond you by uh, noticing and like speaking to what I notice you do as wise. I can notice your enacted wisdom, and I can give voice to it, and I can even write it down, right? Say like, this is a wise thing that I see Bruce doing. So if part of the project, right, is of extending our embodied wisdom by embedding it within artifacts, right?
Yeah.
So that others can enact it without having to have gone through the hard-won like intimacy that embeds it to create affordances, right? That are those artifacts that embed that wisdom and enable others to enact it. That seems to be part of the project. That's what I mean when I'm talking about artifacts, or
Yes.
rather, affordances.
So I just typed every single word as you were speaking because you're using very big, broad concepts, and I needed to like both hear it and see it and write it down. And that was very coherent. That was very salient. That helps me to understand. And what you're really just pointing at is remixing each other's content, because there's like the truth, there's the Tao, there's the Zen, but to get people to understand those things, you kind of have to remix it and say it in different ways and provide different examples so that it reaches the right person that resonates there and gets that. And so yeah, I'll also take a moment to thank you and appreciate your comments, calling me wise and such. I appreciate that. And so yeah, if what I'm saying resonates with you in like a different frame with different words and different concepts, I love that you are so familiar with principles and models and systems, because I am not. It reminds me at Vibe Camp when I was at Dharma Talks, they were talking about vocabulary words and referencing books and these sorts of things, and I'm like, well, I just kind of came to this through gnosis and like through my own perception and my own internal introspection and transformation, and I don't know the terms of things. And so having people like you, I guess this isn't something I ever thought about until now. Yeah, if you're able to take my heady verbiage, vernacular, there we go, and like package it in artifacts that can reach more people, that's fantastic. Not that I think I have the truth and I'm some prophet, but like it's prophet-esque, where especially when I see the future of where Starscape and Canopy will go, and I don't know how to articulate it, and I'm working every day to refine my articulation without sounding like some cult leader. Or and it's not cult leader adjacent, except apparently, as I've discovered to some people, it's so abstract that I've now been getting called cult leader, and I'm like, man, you just don't get it, and I can't control your perception.
Isn't that frustrating? Like, I want to, same journey, dude, right? It's interesting. Like, so my experience of what you're talking about, it comes, the words that have come up to describe the experience for me is that of, like, so you pointed to intuition, right? There's something that's pre-linguistic, like an embodied understanding, embodied knowing, right? That like as yet has not come to a linguistic verbal articulation, but's just there. You know it. And I know that you've experienced the thing that happens afterwards, right? Which is that, like, then it becomes clear, right? There's there's the sort of thing that happens when you just know that download, and then there's this thing that happens afterwards of
integration.
Now I've moved from that like well, the integration kind of seems like, oh, have you come across Loophole Kid on Twitter?
No.
Worth a follow, man. Definitely worth a follow. And also, like, if you feel so called, like, he offers coaching, and like, Wendell offers coaching. Like, there's a few people that I can vouch for. Loophole Kid's a guy that's worth spending an hour with. He's good. So he used this language that I came across. I think I forget the name of the author, but it's not Robert Anton. Maybe it's Robert Anton Wilson. Shit. Anyway, it's. I'm not going to do a surface of it. I'm going to try. So we were talking about the experience of acquiring, like an embodied knowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pre-linguistically, this is meaning that like it is come into you, you're resonating with it. The move after that is transmission. So to be able to like both, have the experience of acquiring, that embodied knowing, and to then be able to retransmit it encoded, like in like a way that,
Artifacts.
yeah, that's like that's the thing that takes it from being like meaningful to you to like then putting it out into the universe.
Yeah, I think every artist is intrinsically doing this. Right then and there, you made me think of individuals like Anansi who are creating sigil work, and they
Mm-hmm.
have this embodied wisdom and they want to express it, and they express it through their own frame, and it's beautiful. But they're just
Yeah,
trying to get people to get it, even if they're just tapping into the subconscious directly.
right. Isn't that fucked? Whoa. Oh, wild. Okay. Um. Okay. I'm feeling complete for the night. I'm gonna get myself ready for bed.
Yeah, this was beautiful, spontaneous, delicious.
Loved it, man. And yeah, Bruce. Grateful for you, man. And I'm looking forward to the next.
Yes. This is exactly the kind of thing that I want. This gives me life, and we're mensches among ubermensches, just trying to solve our coordination problem here.
Hey, all right. Endeavor to be immense to you, my friend.
Love you, brother. Be well.
All right. Have a good night, Bruce.
You as well.
Ciao.
See you. Wow, beautiful. The weirdo elite is back. The waving duck wall. Oh yeah, it works on the stream. That's beautiful. So good to see you. You wish you had arrived earlier. Hey, it's okay. I have to go into my Twitch video producer and hit publish, but I'm now also streaming on X, on Twitter. I don't know if you do the X or the Twitter. You can follow me, Lavitz Starlove. Can I type in the chat? Is it possible? Lavitz, twitter.com/Lavitz Starlove. I think I need to update the description below on the Twitch side of things. You don't even have a Twitter account? Hey, that's fine. But that's primarily where I'm at, although I am exploring options to be on multiple platforms. Right now, I'm multi-streaming. This is both on Twitch and Twitter right now. Probably do YouTube. Probably do the alternate platforms, decentralized. Yeah, I've been live for almost 3 hours now. But, yeah, so if you want to check it out, you can. But I'm curious, what have you been up to? How are you? That's so cool. Yeah, I'll add YouTube. I can do that. I am going to hop off soon because it has been 3 hours and I need to sleep. I have martial arts in the morning. I forgot what you know about me. It's been so long. All I know is you're this interesting kid from Argentina, Buenos Aires. It's basically it. Yeah, it's been so long. It was like last March, February, March. And what has occurred within me since is just like everything clicking. I now understand my purpose, my destiny. I have so much energy and forward momentum and productivity right now. I'm completely clear with myself and my goals, and so I'm back. Whereas last time when we first met, I was still trying to figure out, like, I had all these ideas, but they didn't really make sense, they didn't click, they didn't harmonize, and I was doubting myself a lot. Like, should I play games? Should I do the music thing? Should I do this, that, and the other? So now everything is good and clicking, and I wrote probably tens of thousands of words on Twitter recently. And there's just threads of threads. So yeah, I'm aligned. I have this, Beacons AI. I need to update the Twitch description down below with like all my links and things. I am pretty insane. I do way too many things at the same time for an average individual. But this is my zone of genius. And I'm only just getting started. That's amazing, man. I remember, glad you're doing good. Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate you. Yeah. What are you up to? Are you gaming? Are you in school? What excites you? Finished high school and got a job as a veterinarian. That is beautiful to hear. That's what excites you? Because that's awesome. What, parquet? Yeah, look at this in my city this morning. Isn't that wild? You kind of want to do your own stuff far away from everything you know. Okay. And still stay in a predominantly Spanish-speaking country. Yeah, this is fucking gorgeous. I missed it. I didn't see it with my own eyes.